Let's take a look.
Thursday, 29th of October 2015, India began its new tryst with the African continent at the Leaders Summit at the 3rd India-Africa Forum Summit. The program began with a cultural extravaganza. The stadium, draped with the flags of India and the 54 nations of the African continent, wore a festive look. Prime Minister Narendra Modi personally greeted the heads of state and government of 54 African states who descended on the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium for the 3rd India-Africa Forum Summit. There was an impressive turnout of the leadership of the African continent on Indian soil. Before the plenary session of the summit began, all leaders gathered for a group photo. A photo that represented 1/3 of the humanity. Inaugurating the summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi described it as a meeting of dreams of 1/3 of humanity under one roof. Addressing the summit, Prime Minister said that both India and Africa were blessed by demographic dividend, having the majority of their population under 35, and complimented the potential of both the sides.
There is something precious that unites us. It is our youth. 2/3 of India and 2/3 of Africa, each under the age of 35 years. And if the future belongs to the youth, then this century is ours to shape and build.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a concessional credit of $10 billion over the next 5 years for Africa.
India will offer concessional credit of $10 billion over the next 5 years. This will be in addition to our ongoing credit program. We will also offer a grant assistance of $600 million. This will include an India-Africa Development Fund of $100 million and an India-Africa Health Fund of $10 million.
The Prime Minister called for partnership of African countries in fighting terrorism, threat to maritime security and reforms in the UNSC to give due representation to Africa and India.
Our institution cannot be representative of our world if they do not give voice to Africa, which is more than a quarter of UN members, or the world's largest democracy with 1/6 of humanity. That is why India and Africa must speak in one voice for reform of the United Nations, including its Security Council.
Speaking about the upcoming Paris Climate Conference, Prime Minister Modi said that any agreement in the Paris Summit should be taking note of the needs of developing countries for finance and green technology.
We will also deepen India-Africa partnership on clean energy, sustainable habitats, public transport, and climate-resilient agriculture.
Prime Minister Modi assured India's strong commitment to the development of African nations and promised continuous assistance in meeting their various challenges. He spoke profusely of the historical and civilizational bonds between the two parts of the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked about almost every issue, whether it's climate change, UNSC reforms or partnership. But one thing that stood out was India's promise of development in Africa with a human face. India offered concessional credit worth $10 billion and 50,000 scholarships to African students. All in all, a day in diplomacy can last a lifetime, and this is that day, 29th of October 2015. With camera person AK, Siddhant Sibal, DD News, New Delhi.
And earlier today,